And so sometimes when I see patients come in with high blood pressure, if it's legit high blood pressure, I'll talk to them and say, hey, did you drink coffee this morning? Or, what happened at work, or were you kind of running late? And some people just tell me, no, I just got white coat syndrome. I know what that is. And I got to, I have that. I get nervous when I come here every time, even for a simple checkup, just because they're so worried about what's going to happen. And so I was like, all right, cool. But I always tell everybody perfect blood pressure, like perfect world blood pressure, 120 over 80 or less. And so that's perfect world blood pressure. If you wake up first thing in the morning, if you don't have a blood pressure cuff and you've been told a couple of times or been asked a couple of times about high blood pressure, I would definitely buy a blood pressure cuff. You can measure your blood pressure at home. Costs about $30 to $50, depending on which one you want to buy from Walmart or Amazon or CVS or Walgreens.
Right.
You just measure it when you first get up. Have you been sitting down for more than 10 minutes before you have your cup of coffee, or if you drink energy drinks, whatever it is? Take it about 10 minutes after sitting down and relaxing, and then that's your true blood pressure. You can measure it that way. And that's usually how the best way to manage it. Like you just say, hey, I'm gonna just keep track of it, make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I start noticing trends to get up to about the 140s, if it gets over like 140 over like 85 around there, then I would say, hey, I need to get checked out. And so, and then see if it's because I have high blood pressure or what. And then if you have blood pressure medication, take it. I know guys that, they don't take it because the big thing when it comes to chronic kidney disease, high blood pressure, or diabetes, a lot of times you don't realize you have it until you get either a checkup or it's too late. Like you go to the ER and, hey, you got diabetes, or hey, you got high blood pressure, your blood pressure's through the roof. So I always tell people like, hey, just measure your blood pressure. If you don't, what ends up happening is your kidneys are now under a lot of stress because there's only one artery that goes down there to go give it blood, and that's under a lot of tension and stress, and it causes the kidney to kind of start failing. So
like, what are some signs? I know you said that people got to do checkups, but being in the military, we're kind of blessed to have this medical insurance where it's a little bit more affordable for us. Maybe maybe some people have some really good ones, but. So what are some signs for people to look at before they're like, I really need to go get this checked out. I could possibly have high blood pressure.
So like if you just notice like when you're going through, if you notice that, hey, I can feel my heart, feel my heart beating a lot. If you have a lot of headaches, a lot of migraines out of nowhere, that's a common cause. And so if you start developing headaches or migraines, not so much what's the difference between a headache and a migraine? Well, if I have nausea, vomiting, if I have vision changes in both my eyes, if I have so it's either light or sound. If you start developing those out of nowhere and you're a little bit older, I would say go get checked out for blood pressure too. And so they can normally do that. If you start feeling fatigued, that's a big one. And so like, hey, this is more on the kidney disease side. You start just feeling tired out of nowhere, no matter, even though you haven't adjusted your diet, stuff like that, get checked out. You never know what it could be. Most times when patients come in and tell me, I say, hey doc, I just feel really tired lately. I'm not sure what it is. 9 times out of 10, I'm doing a blood test on you just to see what the test is and see how the results come back. And so that's usually what we do, because the problem is you don't really know that you have high blood pressure, or you don't really know that you have kidney disease. You just have to the labs come up first. If you start having symptoms, that's when it's a little too, that means you're progressing too far, and that's too late, but it's just saying that's when you start developing symptoms, that's how you know it's getting bad. So I would say some things like some other things, you got metallic tasting. If you taste metallic stuff in your mouth all the time, that's one big one. Fatigue is one. Muscle cramping is a lot because you're not getting the electrolytes where they need to go. They're not getting filtered the right way. So your muscles are cramping up a lot more. I know as drone soldiers, we hear a lot about rhabdo. It's big.
Oh, yeah.
So rhabdo causes kidney dysfunction and kidney decline. So make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you drink electrolytes. That's one way to prevent it. And so if you start noticing, you go do your labs and your provider's like, hey, your electrolytes are a little bit off, then he's going to probably do some more stuff to kind of see if it's affecting your kidneys or not. Same thing with high blood pressure, if it's affecting your kidneys or not. And so we'll do that way. So definitely when you go to your stuff and you notice you have high blood pressure, start mentioning it, reminding them like, hey, I need to take a proactive approach to this. So probably won't affect it. Probably for most people, like between 20 and 30, like, oh, I'm good. I'm 20 and 30, I'm fine. That's fine. It's when you start getting 40 to 50 to 60, that's when it starts really affecting you. And so